I know. Today the whole day I've been like, I got a headache. Early in the morning, I wasn't feeling good. I feel tired. I went to have a coffee, and these ladies go, "You don't look good today. You look sick." And I swear they planted a seed in my head. Next thing, like, I got a headache. I don't feel good. Like, I feel like dying. Like, go away, ladies. I don't want you talking to me anymore. You know? It's amazing how your mind works on you. The whole day I've been like sluggish. They go, "Your eyes are red." Like, I don't know. So I missed a lot of stuff this morning too. So how would I integrate this? I can do color options. I can FOIL this one out and multiply it by 2x. But knowing you might FOIL this one out, how about let me change it to 21? Because I know you're not going to FOIL it. Because if it's 2, you might be tempting to FOIL this. 21, it's a 7:45. If we FOIL this, we're probably here till about 9:30 tonight. I'll be the only one here by that time. You probably pack your stuff and go home. So is there a quicker way to get to the answer? And it's called U-Substitution. We let U equals x squared plus 1. What is the derivative of that? What's du dx? 2x. Let me rephrase this question. What is du? 2x dx. Does everyone see that? Well, let's look right here. Let me take a different marker. Let me look right here. What is this equal to, all of it? Look at that. 2x, isn't that the du? So now I can take this problem down, and I can write that instead of x squared plus 1, that's u to the power of what? 21. Instead of 2x dx, that's what? Du. Do you see that? How do you integrate that? We add 1 to the power, divide by the new power. There is no numbers, it's not a definite integral, we add c. So let's add 1 to the power, that becomes what? 22 over 22 plus c. The only thing you got to do right now, when I gave you the problem, there was no u in it. Everything was x. You need to change it back to x. What is u equal to? X squared plus 1. So the answer to that is x squared plus 1 to the 22 divided by 22 plus c. I didn't have to FOIL it. I didn't have to do any of the stuff there.
What happens with
2x? 2x dx is, the whole thing is du. See that right here? George, this whole thing here is that piece. So I'm taking the 2x dx, replacing it by du.
What happened to that at the end?
du?
Where is it? At the end where?
It's u to the 21st times du. What happened?
Now you integrate. Add 1 to the power,
Yeah.
divide by the new power, and add c.
Is it du just goes out?
Well, you can't leave it in du because when we started the problem, we made that up. You and I made the u there. The initial problem has x in it. So I have to give them the answer back in x. Since u equals x squared plus 1, let me take the u out, put x squared plus 1 in place of it.
Okay, so I guess my first question would be, why would du over dx equal 2x?
What's the derivative of x squared? I just did the derivative of this one. Derivative of x squared is what? 2x plus the derivative of 1, which is what? 0. Any other questions? I'm in no rush.
Yeah, I don't get what you did in 2x dx.
I did the substitution.
I get you
I'm-
substituted it, and I get, but when you change it back to x, you, at the end there, you have, I don't know what I'm asking.
What happened to du?
Wait, let me answer. Did you follow this piece here?
Yeah, I get.
And now you're going to take the u out and put the value of u, which is this piece.
Yeah, no, I get that, but why did?
I think what we're struggling
Why
with
did
is the
DU
x
just
squared
go
plus
away right
1.
there?
Oh, why du? Why the du goes away? Let's look back at the rule here. Where's that rule? Right here. What is the integral of x to the n dx? It's x to the n plus 1 over n plus 1 plus c. And there is no dx because it says what function, if you take the derivative with respect to x, is this? So when you do that, there is no dx left. So this here equivalent to the whole thing, including the dx. So that's why there is no du. You integrate this, you add 1 to the power over the new power plus c, and the du and the u to the 21 is gone. All of this is this piece. And now you replace u with the value of u. Let me try another one. It doesn't make sense yet, so it's okay. It will. Couple minutes. I don't know which way was it. I'm trying to put them in order in case somebody wants to take them. Let's try another one. I'm going to give you one that we cannot integrate. We don't know the answer to it, including me. Tangent x dx. Tangent. There is no way, even if you go back, memorize all the rules, there's nothing about tangent x.
Yeah, just a
Sine over cosine. Okay, George said put sine over cosine. Go ahead.
Isn't that asking what derivative?
No,
is
what
that?
function that if you take the derivative of it, the answer is tangent x?
Right. Okay, so that doesn't exist.
Nope, we don't know it yet. You're going to find out in a few minutes. It's minus the natural log of cosine x. But you're going to see why. The reason, we're going to use U-Substitution. If I let u equals the bottom, u equals cosine x. What is the derivative of that? What's du dx?
Sin x.
Negative, right?
Yeah.
So what's du? Negative sine x dx. Ah, darn it. If you look at this here, you're missing something from it. What's not in it? Compare it to this one.
Negative.
It's missing the minus sign, right? Can I just go, so you know what, I need that minus sign. Let me just put it in. Nobody saw me do that. Boom.
No.
You can't. So if you put one here, you better put one outside. Two of them. Because what's a minus a minus? It's a plus. I put it outside instead. I could have put it inside, but why put it inside? So I put one inside, one on the outside. Now, by looking at this, is wait a minute, let me take this problem. Now, there's the minus sign. What is negative sine x dx? All of that. Du. And what is cosine of x?
U.
That's u right there, right? Now, can I integrate this? This is the minus, the integral of what? U to the minus 1, right? You can't use add 1 to the power divide by the new power. That does not work when the power is minus 1. So what's the answer when the power is minus 1? It's the natural log. There's the minus sign sitting outside, the natural log of the absolute value of u, right? The natural log of the absolute value of u. What is u equal to? So it's negative the natural log of cosine x plus c.
Memorize this also.
Which one? The integral of u? Yeah.
Yeah.
Or 1 over x.
It's in that front page of the book.
Which one? The integral? Yeah, they have a summary of all these integrations. Let me try another one. Another one where you couldn't do without U-substitution. It looks simple, it looks straightforward, but you really couldn't do it. That one. We can write that as what? The integral
Minus 1.5.
2x minus 1 to what power? 1/2. So you're going to let u equals what? 2x minus 1. What's the derivative of that? It's 2. What's du equal to? 2 dx. Uh-oh. I don't have a 2 there. Notice I don't have a 2 here. If I had a 2 here, I'll be dancing. Oh boy, look at this. Perfect. See this? Matches this, but I don't have a 2. I wrote it in black so you can see. I don't have that 2.
Put the 2 on the outside.
Can't just put a 2 on that side. It changes the whole problem. 1/2 times 2, right? Because notice you're multiplying this by 2, right?
Yeah.
To make sure you don't change the problem, you need to divide it by 2 or multiply by half. What's 1/2 times a 2? That's a 1. I didn't change the problem now. So if I wanted a 2 here, I said, fine, you can have a 2 there as long as you don't change the problem. Well, if you multiply by 2, you better divide by 2 or multiply by half so the problem doesn't change its value. And now I can take the 1/2 outside here. This will be what? U to the power of 1/2, right? And what is 2 times dx? du. There's the 1/2. Let's integrate. Add 1 to the power, which is what? 3/2, and divide by 3/2, plus c. Dividing by 3/2 is the same as multiplying by what? 2/3. So what's the final answer? 1/3. In place of u, let's put the value of u, which is what? 2x minus 1 to the power of 3/2 plus c. That's a 2 here. Looks like a z, but that's a 2. So I multiplied this by 2 to get what I want to get. I said to make sure I don't change my problem, let me multiply it also by half or divide it by 2. Multiplying by 2 and dividing by 2 does not change your problem. So, but it gave me what I wanted here, the du, and I just took the 1/2, this one, put it in the front now, and said, okay, let's go through it. Let's have you try let's see, let me pick some from the, oh, this book doesn't have problems to try. Okay. There's one, an example I was about to do in the book, so I'll let you give it a try there. Will be a short try just because I want to make sure the film is not quiet there for a while. But at least tell me, how would you approach this? Let's make this x squared, and this is 2x to the third plus 5. I changed my mind. To the power of 7. Can't. Only addition subtraction can split it. Are you thinking about this one, George? Make it integral of x squared? You're making like the integral of the first one times the integral of the second one? Unfortunately, you can't do that. You can only do it for addition and subtraction, not multiplications or divisions. Yep. So think of U-substitution. If you let U equals 2x to the third plus 5, what is the derivative of that? Is 6x squared, right? Which means du is 6x squared dx. Now let me take this problem and just rearrange things around. Since I have x squared next to dx, let me put them next to each other. They seem to like each other. So I'm going to take that x squared and put it next to that dx squared. Does that change my problem? No, I just took the x squared, put it right there instead on the front. But let's look right here, like, almost. Compare it to that one. It's missing a 6, right? Exactly. You multiply this by 6 to get what you want, then you got to fix it by taking the 1/6 outside. That's 1/6, the integral from 0 to 1. Well, now I got to be careful. Notice I gave you a definite integral. Let me wait on this. Let's leave the units alone here. We're going from where to where? This is going to be u, not y. U to what power? 7, right? Du. You agree with that? 2x cubed plus 5 is actually u to the power of 7, and this is du. I erased what I put here, 0 to 1, because when you put 0 to 1, to anyone looking at this, they think u is going from 0 to 1. It's not. The original problem, we're talking about x is going from 0 to 1. So you can fix that by going x equals 0 to x equals to 1 to let people know you're going from 0 to 1. And you can change your answer back to x and plug in these numbers. So what's my answer? It's 1/6. Now that's a definite integral. I don't need the c here. That becomes what? U to the power 8 divided by 8. I don't need the c. X equals 0 to x equals 1. One, 6, and 8, is that 1 over 48? And that'll be, let's replace u by what? 2x cubed plus 5. Now I can say as x goes from 0 to 1, because now I have x. I don't have to say x equals, because the function has x in it. And now you plug in your upper limit minus your lower limit. 1 over 48. The upper limit when x is 1, is that a 7? Oh, I forgot the 8th here. Yep. This will be what, 7? I'll just leave it 7 to the 8th. That's a big number. Minus 1 over 48. When x is 0, what do we have? 5 to the 8th. And whatever these numbers are. Now, to show you, there's another way when you have a definite integral for this particular problem, when you get to this point, and it's saying x equals 0 to x equals 7, you could have changed your limits here. When you change everything to u, if you want to, let me go back to this step here. We said it's 1/6, the integral of u to the 7 du, right? And instead of saying x equals to 0, well, when x is 0, let's go back up there on the top. Let's plug into this problem. That's what u equals to. Let's find the u value. What's 2 times 0? cubed. That's 0 plus 5, that's a 5. When x is 1, what's 2 times 1 cubed? 2 plus 5, that's a 7. So I could have changed my limits. I don't have to switch it back to x. So when you have a definite integral, you don't have to switch it back to x. You can integrate that now. 1 over 6, that's u to the 8th over 8, which is 1 over 48, u to the 8th, and u is going from where to where? 5 to 7. That'll be 1 over 48, 7 to the 8, minus 1 over 48, 5 to the 8. Is that the same answer? So you could have done it either way. You could have changed, when you have definite integral, when you have numbers here. If you don't have numbers, you have to switch it back to x. But if you have numbers, you have two options. You can switch it back to x and use the original numbers, or you can find the new numbers, the equivalent values, and plug them in. And that's as far as we're going to go with chapter 5. Oh yeah, huge number. Anyone has questions on the old homework before you leave? I want to make sure you guys are all set. If you don't have any questions, you're free to leave. If you have questions, stick around. I'm in no rush. You want them? Sure.
No, I was actually going
Oh.
to say, sorry, I didn't come by to do the test. They actually changed my ship out date, so I don't until Thursday next week, so
Okay.
I'm just going to take chapter 4 and everything else.
Okay.
But the final test I'll still need to take early, so would, like,
Next week,
yeah, like Tuesday or Wednesday.
you can come Tuesday. Early during the day. Can you come during the day?
Yeah. I was going to say, would Wednesday possibly work as well for you? Or
Which one? Wednesday. I'm here too. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so like Wednesday early on.
Yep, that's fine.
Like 9 o'clock maybe? Would that-
9. I'll be here.
Okay, awesome.
Wednesday at 9. I'll be probably in this room.
Okay, all right, I'll come find you. Thank you.
Just email me that day, just to remind me, because I'll forget.
All right, I was going to say, should I get you on through WebAssign or just your regular email?
Just regular email. Yeah, what was fine. I won't see it unless I open it that day.
Okay.
So, there's just the chapter 4 test and the final?
Correct. And homework on chapter 5.
When's the final?
The final is next Thursday. That's the last. Next week is the last week for us. So Monday is test 4. Thursday is the final exam, and then we're done. And chapter 5 will be posted actually before I leave today. The homework will be reassigned, so people get to work on
Chapter
that.
5 homework is due on like Tuesday?
I'll probably make them Wednesday, chapter 5, for a later date, because I want everyone, when they show up for the final exam, everything's done. I don't want to hear that day, hey, can you open this for me for a couple more days, because I'm gone. I'm telling you, the test is done, I'm going to Washington, D.C. I got to help my son move, and I got to have the grades in before I leave this building.
I wanted to leave Tuesday for vacation. Do you think I could take test 4 on Monday and
Sure.
the final Monday?
Sure,
Take them both Monday?
you
You're
can if you
saying
want
yes.
to. You can.
Think of what you're saying yes.
Yeah,
but
I
wanna
know,
make
yep,
sure, 'cause
I
you
have
told me I
fine.
could take it at home.
Oh, no, I thought you were talking about
I don't know
physics.
if you've been
Yeah.
smoking or drinking.
Maybe, except I don't smoke, I don't drink, that's my problem. Maybe I need to smoke and drink.
I have that one problem.
Oh, to find the zeros for this? I think that's where your problem, how do you
How in
find,
the world?
what's
I was
that?
coming up
X
with-
cubed? What's that, 9x squared?
Crap.
Yeah, that's what it is, I think.
Yeah.
I think you're trying to find where's zero, right, the intercepts? Is that what you're
Yeah.
asking? Yep.
Because I was finding, well, I mean, I saw the
Watch
intercept, I
this.
just couldn't figure out where the hell it was.
Watch this. There's no x in it, that's 0x. It's actually not bad because you're lucky. Your number is 1. The one Nick had today, and they had the 2 there, which means to get a 1 is either going to be plus 1 times plus 1 or what? Minus 1 times a minus 1. So you want to know if the number is if one of these is a root. So one of the easiest way is synthetic division. You write the coefficients 1 minus 9 0 1. Let me try the 1 first. You know this problem is divisible by 1 if when I finish with this, if my answer in this box is 0 here, I'm good. If it's not 0, I'm in trouble. How do you do synthetic division? You start by bringing this number down first. What is 1 times 1? 1. Was that a 9 there? Was that a number 1 or something else there?
That was a -9.
Oh, the last one?
Yeah, plus 1 at the end.
So it's x cubed. Did I write it? I just make sure I wrote it right there.
Yeah, x cubed minus 9x squared plus 1.
So in this case, this method won't work, but that's okay. So we have to think of different method. Newton's method. We have to do Newton's method for that one.
Oh, shit me.
Yep, that's the only way for that one. So, but no, the reason it doesn't work, watch this. 1 times 1 is 1. His actually worked fine. So you were unlucky one. 1 times a minus 8. Minus 8 plus 0 is negative 8. 1 times a minus 1. Negative, 1 times a minus 8, negative 8. Let's add them. That's negative 7. It's not 0. That's not good.
It just keeps on going.
You only have one more option with your number. You have a minus 1.
Yeah.
So you try the minus 1. And if it doesn't work out, you go, oh, I can't do it now that way. And for this, really no other way but either a calculator that has solver or Newton's method.
I
You know.
can't figure out how to use that stupid thing.
So you go 1 here. Minus 1 times 1 is minus 1. That's a negative 10. Minus 1 times a minus 10, that's 10. And 0, that's 10. Minus 1 times 10 is minus 10. That's a negative 9. Doesn't work. Boom, done. Can't do it this way. You got to use Newton's method. You go, let me try, since you know what the answer, for example, 0.2, let me try the x equals 0.2, let me find the derivative and all the stuff. Or the calculator, and hopefully you don't see them on the
I
test.
just used a graphic calculator
Yep.
and I just didn't get on the intersect until it got to
Yeah, you could do that
less
and
than
use the
1,000.
Newton method if you want to,
Yeah.
when you reach that point, 'cause that'll be a quicker way. But it's still going to be a long way.
'Cause I was just curious how I was supposed
Yes.
to figure that out without a calculator.
Go ahead.
Chapter 4.7, question number 4.
What is it?
It's length and
Oh.
width of rectangle.
I'm still recording.